Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a special Have At It, episode 70. My name is Ben Cornett. How is everybody doing tonight? It is Thursday. It's not Friday when we usually do the Have At It show, but I felt like tonight was kind of special because obviously the Thursday night game tonight is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Atlanta Falcons. Key division game. This will be the Bucks' first division game of the year. Meanwhile, Atlanta played their first division game last week against the New Orleans Saints, came out with a 26-24 win. So, Atlanta's 2-2, Bucks 3-1. So there's a lot on the line tonight. This has become quite a rivalry. The Bucks have won the last several of them. I think we lead the series all time 31-30, if I'm not mistaken. But tonight should be a pretty interesting game. Both teams have a lot of high expectations this year. You know, the Bucks obviously want to win their fourth straight division title. That's never happened in the history of the NFC South. Meanwhile, Atlanta, they came in this year with a lot of people picking them to win the division. When you look at their roster, their talent, it's hard not to see that. You can't really blame the experts, but listen, the game's got to be played on the field, and I feel like the Bucks so far have done very well this year, except for the game against Denver. Obviously, you can just chalk that one up as one of those games you have every year where you just don't show up. And I felt like last week the game against the Eagles, the Bucks absolutely showed up, showed out. Again, I get it, injuries by Philly, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're going to beat a team that's decimated, injury-wise, like Philly, you should be able to. The Bucks dominated, and Mayfield looked great, 30 for 47. The run game's getting better; it's getting there, but tonight's going to be a key. Atlanta does have a very solid defense. They can stop the run. So it's going to be interesting how we, balance our offense out. Do we have more throwing than running, or do we do the opposite? And with the Bucks, obviously, as you know, we're probably going to be passing the ball more because we got two of the best receivers in the game, Evans and Godwin. The run game, I think, still vital. I think Bucky Irving's, getting more and more touches each week. They're feeling more comfortable with him. Shad White, he's kind of got off to a rough start, but last week he improved a little bit in the run game. So if we can get, contributions from both Rashad White and Bucky Irving, get at least 100 to 150 yards between the two of them, I think we have a very good shot at winning this game. And I did pick the Bucks to win. I just feel like right now we're playing better than Atlanta. Not that Atlanta's not good, but they've just really haven't gotten it going yet, in my opinion. I know they're 2-2, but it just seems like right now the offense is not clicking for them, and hopefully that doesn't start tonight. Hopefully our defense can step up, show out. I mean, we do have injuries on that front. Obviously, we still know Antoine Winfield. Servastier Dennis is out. Canty's still out. So it's going to be interesting to see where we're going to get that pass rush. Last week, Vita came back, which was huge, really huge for our run defense because we're going to need it tonight, especially when you're going up against John Robinson, who's one of the better running backs in the league, along with Tyler Algier. So the combo of Algier and Robinson, is pretty lethal, for an offense like Atlanta. And I think one of the keys tonight for the Bucks is we got to be able to stop Atlanta on third down. Now, Atlanta is one of the worst third down teams in the league. So, having said that, this should be very good for us defensively. With Todd Bowles bringing the blitz, blitzing like he does. Kirk Cousins does not like a lot of pressure. So, if we can get him early, stop him on key third downs, and then get the ball, score, control the time of possession. This should be a big win for the Bucks. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but when it's a division game, it's usually always close. So last week's good indicator of that with the Saints and Falcons. Um, so I expect somewhere around like a 27-24 type of game. I know Atlanta's favored 1.5. If I'm betting, I take the Bucks and the points here. I just think Tampa right now has got some momentum, especially coming off that big win against Philly. Atlanta, I know they got some momentum too. They beat, the Saints, but again, it's going to be very interesting to see if this offense, for Atlanta does finally show up tonight. I hope not. I hope they could save that for next week, but I feel confident that our defense, despite missing some key players like Antoine Winfield, Sfase Dennis, that this team could still, be able to, stop Atlanta's offense. Hopefully, get a couple turnovers. On the offensive side of the ball for the Bucks, the injuries obviously with Luke Godecki, he's out again, which is kind of unusual. I mean, it's like 3 weeks in a row now with the concussion. I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to judge it or anything like that. It is what it is. So Skull's going to get the start again. He did a little better last week, but Atlanta's a little better defensively. They got to worry about guys like Matthew Judon and those guys. So hopefully tonight this offensive line can do their part, create holes for the running game, protect Baker, give him time in the pocket because that's going to be very important. Atlanta, again, one of the better defenses in the league, and the Bucks just need to maintain offensively, score some points. Don't rely so much on the field goals. Again, we're going to need touchdowns to beat this team. Last week we broke our streak of like 22, 23 games in a row where we didn't score a touchdown on the opening possession of the game. Bucks finally did that, so that helps. That's good momentum going into this game. We're going to definitely need that. It's going to be a pretty loud crowd in Atlanta. It usually is. So this is going to be fun. I cannot wait. I don't know. There's some other stuff I'm trying to think of, what the Bucks can do. Obviously, Evans had a great game last week. I expect Chris Godwin to get more looks, more targets. Now, we don't have Trey Palmer tonight. He's out with an injury. He got injured late in the game last week, so that losing him and Jalen McKellen, he's out as well. So you got 2 receivers out. Now you got Sterling Shepard just got called up from the practice squad. He had a couple of nice catches last week as well. So there's a lot of familiarity with Sterling Shepard and Baker Mayfield going back to the Oklahoma days. So that'll help. Cade Otton, I think, should step up a little bit, get him more involved in the offense as well, get our tight ends in there. And like I said, the run game needs to, show up like they did last week. Again, Bucky Irving getting more and more reps each week. Rashad White starting to show up a little bit. So, some screenplays would be nice to run there, especially with a guy like Rashad White. And both him and Bucky Irving got that speed on the outside. So as long as we get that balance, both offensively and defensively, we should be able to come out of Atlanta with a big division win and, have firm control of it early on. So it's important because, after this, we got the New Orleans Saints. So we got 2 road games coming up tonight and at New Orleans the following Sunday. So this would be getting this win tonight would be a lot of momentum heading into New Orleans a week from Sunday. Get a little extra rest. Because then we're going to have to play Atlanta again a couple weeks later. That's the Creamsicle game on the 27th, I believe it is. So 3 of our next 4 games, division games, big games, 2 against Atlanta, 1 against the Saints. And it starts tonight. If we get this win, we'll definitely be in a good position to try and win this division. There is some comments. Marty McKnight, thanks for tuning in. What's up, Ben? What's up, Marty? How you doing? Hope you feel better. I know you're kind of under the weather right now, so hopefully get better soon, and we'll be glad to have you on again. Corey King Brown, thanks for tuning in. He says Kirk Cousins sucks under pressure. Baker Mayfield, better forget Bucks destroyed Kirk Cousins. Yeah, like I said, Corey, we got to bring that pressure to Kirk Cousins tonight, get him rattled. But it's also going to be important for us to stop the running game, stop guys like Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. If we could slow their running game down, then it's going to force the Atlanta Falcons to throw the ball more. I know Kirk Cousins doesn't like to do that all that much. He doesn't like to throw the ball a lot. So if we could stop their run game, we could certainly put a lot of pressure on them early. And we got to score offensively. If we can get off to like a 7-0, 10-0 start against Atlanta with our defense, despite having a couple injuries, with Pod Bowles bringing the heavy pressure, the blitz, it's going to make Atlanta have to throw the ball more, So the keys for Atlanta is they want to run the ball. They want to establish the run to set up the pass. And, they want to keep it kind of a low-scoring game. So for us, we just have to get off to a good start offensively. If we get the ball if we get the ball first, we got to score a touchdown. We did that last week. Finally, like I said earlier, we broke that 22-game touchdownless streak on the opening drive of games. So hopefully we can get another touchdown on our opening drive. That will set the tone for the game. We always usually play better ahead than behind, and usually that's always the case in every game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup tonight. Again, two great offenses. Another key, like I said earlier, the Atlanta's one of the worst third down conversion teams so far in the league. So if we can get them second and long, like I said, just force Kirk Cousins to throw the ball under pressure, because usually he doesn't do well. So that'll be the key. Marty says, I wouldn't recommend having pneumonia and pleurisy at the same time. Hope I said that right. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, Marty. That's too bad, bro. I really hope you feel better, man. That does not sound good. Just rest up. Just drink a lot of fluids. Last week I was sick. Nowhere near what you had, but I had a cold, I had a sore throat. I could barely talk. So for me, is just have a lot of fluids in your system, take a lot of vitamin C, and just rest. That's the key. Just take it easy. Don't try and do anything too strenuous. Just stay off your feet for a while, and as much as you can. I know everybody has jobs. They may not be able to get the time off, but if you can, do it. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little stubborn. I'll work through, a cold or a flu. That's just me. I hate being, locked down, but but again, try and rest. So hope you get better, Marty. Will Tick Holloway, what's up, Ben? Let's go. Hey, Will, how you doing tonight? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. That's right, Will. We're gonna get this win tonight, and also we got Mr. Johnny Dean. Here's Johnny. What's this? Have it out on a Thursday? Yep, it is. Have at it on a Thursday. Yeah, Johnny. I want to do this one tonight. It's a little special. I know it was last second, but I just thought, what the hell? Let's just do a quick show. Have at it tonight. I wasn't able to do one last week. I was under the weather, so but this week I'm feeling a lot better. I'm about 95, 96%. This is just kind of the after effects. You know how you get to the sort of the finish line with the cold. You clock a few loogies, and you're just getting all that out of your system. Anyway, I won't get into too many more graphic details, but that's where I'm at right now. So, and then Johnny says, let's see, you need to give Marty healthcare, Ben. Yeah, that's a little inside baseball right there. Oops, I said the B word. Johnny don't like the B word. In the group chat, it's, you know, Marty and Johnny know what I'm talking about. So, but let's just put it this way, Marty, with the change you make, you don't need healthcare. Corey Brown says Corey and Ben NFL pick same, only one wrong. Oh, okay, you must be talking about the weekly picks. So yeah, I picked the Bucks tonight. I think we're gonna win this game. I think it'll be a good game. You know, again, as I mentioned before, we just gotta be able to score early and then let our defense, you know, put pressure on Atlanta's offense, and we should come out with the dub. Man, so yeah, that's all I got on this Bucks Falcons game. Again, I love it on Thursday night. I like it on Prime Video, and I think Prime Video's got the best, at least the best pre-show coverage. They do a real good job. You know, Clarissa Thompson, Tony Gonzalez, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Richard Sherman. So, yeah, and Andrew Whitworth. Can't forget about him. So they do a great job. You know, I like listening to those guys. Johnny says Sterling Shepard. Ugh. Well, the reason we're seeing him tonight is because Trey Palmer, McClellan, they're both out. So gotta have that third receiver. Like I said, hopefully Marshall Lynch. I mean Marshawn Lynch. No, that's Richard Sherman, not Marshawn Lynch. Marshall Lynch. Is that John? Is that a John Lynch's cousin or something? I don't know. Maybe it is. So we got the Bucks Falcons out of the way. Some other games this weekend. Jets and Vikings head up to London. That should be interesting game. Minnesota's off to a great start, 4-0 against going up against the Jets, 2-2. I picked Minnesota. I think they're just playing great football right now, and you know the offensive line for the Jets has not been great. It wasn't great last week. Aaron Rodgers had to run for his life. Poor little guy had to run for his life. Let's see. It was okay. Yep. No, Marshawn Lynch was just on there shaking hands with Fish. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. So he making an appearance tonight. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it on in a few minutes. But yeah, so man, so Jets, Vikings, some other games this weekend. I think the Packers are gonna bounce back this weekend against the Rams. I know Jordan Love just came back, so he should be ready to go for this week. Packers could use a big win on the road. Who else we got? We got the Sunday night game, Steelers going up against the Cowboys. I like Pittsburgh. Dallas got a lot of injuries to deal with right now, and Pittsburgh defensively is really good. I know last week wasn't their best game, but that was due to the offense for the Steelers not being really good. Bears, Panthers. I like the Bears. Browns, Commanders. Like I said, Watson's got to be the worst contract in NFL history. Speaking of contracts, speaking of disgruntled people, as we know, I live here in Vegas. Davante Adams trade rumors are heating up. Jets, Saints are the teams he wants to play for. And obviously, right now, Raider fans aren't too happy about it. You know, especially with Antonio Pierce liking a comment of Davante Adams. If I'm Pierce, I would just stay off social media. You're the head coach. Show a little better leadership than that. That was one of the fears I had with Pierce is, I hope he's not too much of a rah-rah guy. With the Raiders, it's typical dysfunctional Raiders. I mean, it's no surprise. Yeah, Raiders fans, some of them are just over it. Some of them are just not surprised. Some of them upset. They got a lot of injuries too. Max Crosby with the hamstring injury. They play the Broncos Sunday. I'm going with Denver, even though the Raiders have played them really well lately. It's a rivalry, but Denver's more healthy and there's not nearly as many distractions. Really, it's not any distractions for the Broncos. Bonus is balling out right now. So I like Denver in that game. Some other notable games on Sunday. I do have the Jaguars in a game against the Colts. They're desperate. I think the Jags, they played the Texans tough this past week, almost got a win in Houston. And speaking of Houston, I got the Bills beating the Texans. Not really liking what I'm seeing out of the Texans lately, the last couple games. Seems like their offense isn't doing as well. They're not running the ball as well. And I know Mixon's been out, but Stroud's not played his best game. His best football his last couple weeks. Buffalo got embarrassed by Baltimore on Sunday night. I think Buffalo's going to have a bounce back game. They didn't like how they played that night. Ravens, they're playing the Bengals. I like Baltimore. They're starting to get it going a little bit. So Cardinals Niners, I think could be a good game. I'm gonna go with the Niners, but I think the Cardinals are gonna keep it close. They were, humiliated last week against the Commanders, but division games they're usually always going to be close. So I expect the Cardinals Niners game to be very close. So, but I like the Niners. I think we covered all the games. The bye weeks were Chargers, Lions, Titans, and Eagles. So they're all on byes. Yeah. So then, that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and. Oh, I do got a comment here, Johnny. Adams will probably get traded back to Green Bay. He don't control where he goes in this contract. That'd be interesting. Him and Jordan Love, that could be a hell of a combination. Didn't think about that one, Johnny. Green Bay. That's an interesting destination. Now, do they have the money? I don't know what their salary cap looks like, but that could be interesting. Again, Devontae, he's already got one foot out the door, so he doesn't want to be here in Vegas. So if you're the Raiders, you might as well. I mean, look, you're not winning with Devontae Adams. So why don't you just get some draft stock and try and rebuild this thing, But knowing the Raiders, they'll screw that up. They always do. And it's unfortunate because, this town really likes the Raiders. They're getting sellouts. Obviously, a lot of it, are fans, visiting teams fans. But the Raiders, love them or hate them, they have a loyal fan base, and it's a shame to see that. This team's not doing good for the fan base. Obviously, we know Mark Davis. The goal is to make money, and I get it, and that's every business person. His number one goal is to make money, but you just want to see a winning product on the field as well. And for years the Bucks, the Glazers, before Jason Light, Bruce Arians came along, all they cared about was making money. But they were finally able to turn it around. Let football people do their job, and ever since then, the Bucks, the last 6-7 years, have been, they've won a Super Bowl. We've won 4 division titles. I mean, we've done well in the draft, and we've done really good since. So, hopefully a team like the Raiders their ownership can stay out of the way. Let the GM do his job and build this thing up again. They got more money than the Jets or Saints. Okay. So Packers do have the money. So yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting pickup if that does happen. Now, I did pick Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl this year. Play the Chiefs. So who knows? That would be dangerous. I mean, Devontae Adams, Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson. It's a hell of a receiver duo for Jordan Love. And you got a great coach in Matt LaFleur, And last week, Minnesota's a great team. Very good team, very good defensively. So, it's a division game. Green Bay will bounce back. I'm not worried about Green Bay. If you're a Packers fan, don't worry about it. You're going to come back. You're going to come back strong. You're still one of the better teams in the NFL. So, don't worry about it. And Johnny says, game time, bro. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. It is game time. So, with that being said, everybody, we're going to go ahead and take off here. But I do want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Johnny Dean on YouTube, Corey King Brown, Marty McKnight, Will Holloway. Guys, appreciate it. This was a unadvertised edition of Have At It. Usually it's on Fridays, but since it's a special night, Thursday night football, and the Bucks are playing, why not have a show? Why not celebrate? And why not put on the Bucks swag? So, so let's get this win tonight. This is a big, big game for us. Again, the Falcons Bucks. It's a rivalry. The Bucks lead this rivalry 31-30, and let's make it win number 32. So that's pretty much all I got to say. I'm gonna enjoy the game tonight. By the way, drinking out of this cup. This is the first time I've drank out of this cup. So far so good. It's kept my water cold. Would like to put beer in it, but it's a work night, so I'm gonna be a good boy and sip on some water. I got some dinner. I bought some dinner tonight at Popeyes, so I didn't want to have to cook because I want to watch this game. So, all right. With that being said, before I head out, you can catch this show and every episode of Have At It on my YouTube channel, Ben Coordinate 9015. Also, you can catch it here in the Ben Zone. I have a show every Wednesday called Ben's Quick Picks. We go over all the games. It's just straight up picks, no point spreads, anything like that. Just pick the winners of each game, who I think will win. And Anthony Handy, give him a shout out real quick. Yo, yo, yo. Anthony, your Falcons are going down tonight. Down to Chinatown. I'm just kidding. Good luck tonight to the Falcons, and good luck to the Bucks. And let's stay healthy. That's the most important thing. So everybody, give me a like, subscribe, and share. Greatly appreciate that. And I will see you guys next time right here on Have At It. And have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.